Severe weather alert.
That cold front is now crossing southwestern Victoria. It's just crossed the Otways region and is bringing a west to northwesterly change and strong to gale force winds to all these regions, causing a drop in temperatures, band of showers, and even a few thunderstorms embedded in the mix. We've also seen it cross northwestern Tasmania. Last night it hit Corryong, the first one at the very least. This is the second one I'm talking about now. But it brought some heavy showers there, the heaviest rain we've seen in about a month's time. Now we're continuing to see showers now in southeast South Australia, Victoria, Corryong region as well, expecting some heavy showers at times for today. Latest radar imagery, satellite imagery behind me. This is the cold front that we're talking about here. That second one, that first one has moved offshore. This second one is crossing southwest Victoria right now. That pool of cold air just surging through. Notice that spiraling motion on the satellite. That's a low pressure system. It's the reason why it's so gusty. We're very close to the center of this low pressure system, and it is bringing very cold temperatures, and also we are seeing some very gusty winds with widespread severe weather warnings right across the southeast right now. Let's look at those isobars, because it really gives you an indication of how stacked they are. Notice how tight they are. That is an indication of the wind speed there. There's the boundary of the cold front. Within the next hour, it's going to be crossing western parts of Port Phillip Bay. Probably in the next hour or two, it'll make its way over to the Melbourne region, crossing northwestern Tasmania currently. Taking a look at some radar imagery now, we've seen some showers this morning throughout Adelaide, the Florio Peninsula, York Peninsula, Kangaroo Islands, down across the southeast. Heavy showers and storms, in fact, for the Mount Gambier and the Robe region, with gusts in excess of 80 kilometers an hour with those thunderstorms. A band of rain is now forming and moving over central and northern Victoria. There's some good news there. We did have some rain with that there, and some good rainfall totals to 9 a.m. But the biggest feature by far is the winds. These winds are strong enough to bring down trees in some circumstances, particularly given the strength and how long they're lasting in some circumstances. Early this morning, Cape Nelson, 106 kilometer an hour wind gusts. We've seen gusts above 100 kilometers an hour consistently now on the Grampian Ranges in western Victoria. Essendon Airport recently getting an 80 kilometer an hour wind gust. Faulkner Beacon sustained gale force winds there and gusting to 89 kilometers an hour. St Kilda, 76 kilometers an hour. That's in and around Port Phillip Bay, that measuring station. And of course, Tullamarine Airport also gusting about 73 kilometers an hour at the moment. Strathalbyn in South Australia, 87 kilometers an hour a little bit earlier today. And Mount Crawford getting 106 kilometer an hour wind gusts. That was actually within the last hour there. So we are seeing very heavy showers and storms moving through this entire region. This cold front's going to continue to progress eastwards, and any of the storms that form can bring gusts in excess of 90 kilometers an hour, but the cold front itself is generating widespread damaging winds. Severe weather warnings have been reissued across South Australia, Victoria, Tasmania, and the southern ranges of New South Wales for damaging winds gusting above 90 kilometers an hour, with the odd gust above 100 kilometers an hour in these areas. And for the Alpine region of both New South Wales and Victoria, we can expect destructive wind gusts. Those are gusts in excess of 120 kilometers an hour. Thredbo has already gusted above 100 kilometers an hour earlier this morning, although at this very elevated station, it already is experiencing some damaging wind gusts in that region, but it could elevate to destructive wind gusts later this afternoon. We are also potentially going to see some blizzard activity because it's getting so cold. That temperature drop is significant. Melbourne on 14 degrees, but currently feeling close to about 8 or 9. That 18 degrees in Adelaide feels closer to 10 degrees right now. That's the magnitude of the wind chill that we're feeling. 8 degrees colder than the temperature would suggest. So it is very, very chilly. And it is going to, that sort of cold front as it's crossing Victoria is going to cause those temperatures to drop, and it's going to make it feel so much colder. But it's warm east of all that. We're actually a northwesterly wind, so you can actually see the latest temperatures on screen. Mount Lofty, 12 degrees right now, but take a look at Sydney, 26 degrees, Newcastle, 23 degrees, Tamworth, 24 degrees. Very warm conditions, and mostly sunny as well around the Illawarra region. Beautiful start to the day after a cloudy one overnight. And the forecast shows that we're going to continue to see these warm temperatures in those northwesterly winds for eastern parts of New South Wales. And for the southeast, however, it's very cold in those southwesterlies, so continue to see that wind chill develop throughout the day throughout the southeast. So when is this weather going to ease? Well, unfortunately, it's going to last for most of the day for many of you, and unfortunately, it's just going to get worse in some areas. But by Sunday, you'll have an easing pattern in South Australia, and a lot of Victoria will then stop seeing those winds. It'll really contract just to the far south. Unfortunately, you in Tasmania, you have several days more to come of gusty periods. Now, this wind is also elevating fire danger. It's warm in New South Wales and windy, so that's why we have very high fire danger, but windy conditions right across the southeast over here also elevating fire danger to very high. Dry vegetation right now, and given these winds, if a fire starts, it can quickly become out of control. So it's just something to note. It isn't the best setup for fire, but we are seeing the elevated fire risk in these areas. Turning our attention to Queensland now, we've seen around 15 millimeters at 9 a.m. to the Bowen area, and those showers are set to continue to today. Areas of light rain are now moving across southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales, and unfortunately it is a little bit of a cloudy one right now, but we are expecting that to clear this afternoon across the southeast. But as it clears, we have the risk of thunderstorms then developing in the afternoon across southeastern Queensland. And for the central coast of Queensland, we are going to see continued showers today, but it should ease somewhat overnight.
A significant wind event is currently occurring across the southeast of the country. Now, as a result, we have been seeing a few dust storms firing up, like you can see in this photo behind me here. This was taken at Whyalla in South Australia yesterday afternoon. Has been very dry across the southeast of the country, and now that we are seeing these strong winds moving in, we are seeing those dust storms. Now, another cold front is going to make its way across the southeast of the country today, bringing with it gales as well as showers and storms. More on that in just a moment. Firstly, let's have a look at Queensland. This is what things have been looking like at Broadbeach in Queensland. A spectacular photo there. Great day out at the beach. A few clouds about. We could expect to see a couple of showers up and down the Queensland coastline.
Yeah, so as you just heard, it's a windy day and you can probably hear my roof creaking. That's the wind doing that. And I live on a property named Spring Valley in New South Wales, Australia, but this place is in Minnesota, in the USA. It's got the same name. And they're 15 hours behind us, so it's still Friday the 13th there, 8:54 p.m. last night. And you would have seen the time on the video there. It was 11:35 at the end, where I paused it. So that was about 20 minutes ago, because I recorded that, and it's now 11:54. I think my clock seems to have caught up a bit, which is good. So yeah, looking at the current situation with the charts and stuff, you can see why it's so windy today, and you can see also from the satellite photo, if that'll come up, where the front is. As he said, it's just coming through Melbourne pretty soon, almost now. And here's the current winds: 30 kilometers an hour in Sydney, 33 kilometers an hour in Melbourne, 30 in Adelaide, 33 in Hobart, 19 in Canberra, 19. The keystone number in the Dark Tower. Anyway, it's also almost 19 degrees in Canberra. So anyway, I thought I'll go outside and we'll check out how it's looking. I can hear the roof creaking. Can I see things blowing? Yeah, you can kind of tell it's windy out there. Can't you? Just a bit. Yeah, just a bit. Just a tad. So this is what happens when it's Friday the 13th in Spring Valley, Minnesota. It gets very windy at Spring Valley in Michelangelo, as you can see. We have some high clouds starting to appear. So we had a cold front come through last night. They're Tassie blue gums, those ones. They're from Tasmania. Imported trees. So yeah, we had a front came through last night. We've had we've had no rain this month and hardly any rain last month. But then last night we got enough rain to make some puddles. 7.5 millimeters. There's a puddle down there, but it's drying up quick with this wind, and the ground of course is just soaked it up because it's so dry. And heaps of records have broken in the last couple of weeks, last week especially. So many heat records have broken for April. And I heard today the Nullarbor actually got to 42 point something degrees, which is a record for April. So a little bit of high cloud there. And if you look at the low cloud, it is fairly scooting. It's on its scooter. Scooting along. Tis. So there you go. Not too bad here yet, but of course the front's only just near Melbourne, so it's going to get a lot worse.